I rewatched the game between Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, and I discovered some of the things that so many people were wrong about. So we're going to look at that, specifically how Sundowns were trying to attack and how in that attack they were doing something that is not conventional. Also going to look at what Pirates were actually trying to do. And last but not least, look at why Mofokeng could not actually perform in this game. Ready for it? Well, let's talk about it. But before we do that, if you're watching on TikTok, please follow the channel for more PSL analysis. If you're watching on YouTube, please do make sure to subscribe. And both groups, also make sure to like the video. Right, so let's start with Mamelodi Sundowns and what they were trying to do when they were attacking. Here, you see a clip of Mamelodi Sundowns doing the opposite of what people would say do. Try to penetrate, play the ball through the middle. You know, that's a dangerous area. Nope. Sundowns instead are not playing the ball through the middle, but they are playing around the press by Orlando Pirates. And once they are in this position, they can either play the ball in behind or they can switch the ball. And you'll see how this works even in the goal. And this is why. This is why they were not playing centrally, because Pirates were pressing in this 4-3-3 shape where they were very narrow and they were shifting as Sundowns were shifting the ball. So what Sundowns would do is like, okay, we do not have a way of penetrating that block. So what did they do? They would just say, okay, we'll just play the ball around the press and make sure that you do not get it. Now you can see this time around it's Matthews who's wide and it's Modiba who's in half space. It didn't really matter. In any case, they were always going to do this. And you see this perfectly in the goal. You start with Sundowns playing the ball on their right-hand side. And as they're playing the ball in their right-hand side, Pirates obviously move to that side to try and make sure that Sundowns don't get to play. So Sundowns come back centrally, but now, instead of Adams turning and going forward, he knows that there's a lot of Pirates players, he goes back. People would say, oh, this is backward passing, this is negative football. But no, what it does, then the ball is played to Mkwena, who plays the ball to Ndamane. They play around the press. Now, Sundowns can do the same thing that they've been doing. Now, obviously, there is a controversial moment here because Pirates players are busy saying, hey, Maswangang is in the box, he's injured. Even the coach there, bottom of the screen, is complaining about that. But remember, the laws of the game say that if it's not a head injury, you don't stop the game. So instead of these experienced players in Hoto pressing and Apolis as well, instead of him pressing, they are busy complaining, which gives this Brazilian, who's very good at passing even under pressure, but no one is marking him, so he just picks the pass. SBC goes to sleep. For a club captain, it's disappointing, but it happens. He goes to sleep, so this Leon guy gets an easy goal, which he would have scored even if SBC tried to mark. So that's 1-0 for Pirates. But it gets better for Sundowns because even for the second goal, they do the same thing. Now, this is basically called, it's overloading to isolate, which is something they've been doing even in the previous thing. It's just that I did not want to overwhelm you with information. Now, the ball is on the right-hand side. Sundowns are that side. So Pirates, as a consequence, shift to the right. But look at the discipline of Modiba. He's told, you are giving us width on the left, so you are going to stay there. So he stays there while they play the ball on the right. And then, obviously, Pirates, with their narrow shape, they're trying to make sure that Sundowns don't play. So they press them. If you look, this is 20 seconds later, and Sundowns are still on the right-hand side. But now, from here, with Sundowns being on the right-hand side, Pirates shift to that side, and now Sundowns can now play the ball centrally. But when they play centrally, you expect, okay, Adams, there's a simpler pass. Play the ball to Matthews, he's going to drive forward. But no, if you do that, then it's too easy because he might get marked because there's a lot of Pirates players centrally. Instead, they go around the press, they play the ball to Ndamane. Ndamane gets the ball, he plays it to Modiba. And now, Modiba in this position, Leon is making a run, and then he scores a goal. But if the ball had been played central, like if we go back here, if the ball gets played central in this case, that means Leon must now stand and face the ball maybe and play a bounce pass or try to attack the space too early. And if it does that, Uchine probably comes out and he intercepts. But if they delay it and force Pirates, because right now Pirates, all of their defenders, you can see, they are defending facing away from their goal, which is something that you want as a player. But the moment the ball is played to the left-hand side, all of a sudden, the orientation of their bodies change. Now they are facing their own goal, which is a difficult thing to do. And then Leon scores as a consequence. It was very calculated. In the second half, obviously, they brought on Tembazwane and Marcelo Allende. And at this time, they did not want to score more goals. So they will be in these positions. Instead of trying to go forward, Tembazwane would be like, nope, we're now just going to play the ball, rotate it back, go backwards. But now look at Allende. Some people are criticizing him. Oh, he's negative. No, he helps the team to control the game. You see, he goes, he gets the ball, and then he's running again. He's demanding the ball. And with him being the man who's constantly running around, he's helping the team to keep the ball. Now let's go to what was supposed to happen for Pirates offensively. We talked about this in the previous video. Go check it out on how Pirates beat. Was it Gallants? Yeah. Can check that video. So Apolis has this thing of getting the ball and having to carry it forward. Here it was a transition because they had won the ball back from Matthews. Now Apolis has the ball, but is running with it. So what's supposed to happen here? Since Mdau is focused on Mofokeng, what that means is that now the striker Umbuthuma can run behind Kekana and try to attack the box. And this actually happened in the goal that they scored against Amazulu. Mofokeng made a run behind a defender and he ended up scoring. So here, the same thing actually happens. The ball is played over and then Umbuthuma misses. Is it a good save or is it a bad header or is it both? You let me know in the comment section. If you look at Tito's goal, it's a combination of what was supposed to happen and the fact that Pirates came out swinging in the second half. So what happened here? So the very first thing that happens, Pirates here increase the tempo. But also look at what's happening central. In white here, let me just highlight him. That's Mofokeng in white, right? Boom, that's Mofokeng. So Mofokeng being there, Mbuthuma is playing behind Kekana as they did in the first half. And Mdau here is focused on Mofokeng. So that means he's kind of in this indecision moment because if he forgets about Mofokeng and he focuses on Mbuthuma, then what that means is that Mofokeng can get the ball free. So they can't allow that. So there's this kind of Mdau just trying to stay with Mofokeng. You can even see here that his main thought is Mofokeng. It's not the guy who's about to score. So when the ball is crossed, and then Umbuthuma hits the crossbar. Lucky for Pirates is that when this happens, Umkwena fails to control the ball. Pirates quickly counter press. They win the ball back. And then Umbuthuma touches the ball. Good pass. No one is marking with Tito. Tito takes a shot and Pirates are back in a game. It's 2-1. And you are like, okay, this is supposed to work. But it was never going to work because from the beginning of the game, this had been happening. Mdau not letting the poor kid breathe. Whenever he tried to get on the ball, Mdau would be him. And when Hoto, because if you look in this clip, you will see that Mdau is on Mofokeng. But now, as Mofokeng drops, look at what's happening bottom of the screen. Hoto is making a forward run, attacking the space that Mdau left. But because they had Umrena, he was there to recover and make sure that Hoto's pace does not hit them. And you keep on seeing this. Umrena, Uhoto wants the ball played across, and indeed, Siama does play the ball across. But Umrena is there and is able to track him and not allowing him to play. And yeah, as I said, this was never going to happen for Pirates, even if they tried, because from the first moment of the game, you saw that they were aggressive. This is 4v4. This is man marking. Everyone is pressed except the keeper. And, they don't want them to play. So they press them. So Pirates end up going long from the get-go. And obviously, if you go long against Pirates, against Sundowns, they've Undamane, they've Kekana, they are very strong aerially. So you also have the situation again where Mofokeng has drifted to the left-hand side of Sundowns. People said, oh, no, he was a left winger. Why? That's why he couldn't play. No, he was everywhere. So here, he's on the right-hand side of Pirates. And Undamane is tight on him. But if you look here, you also see then Mofokeng drops to try and get the ball. He's in a central space. And as he tries to trap the ball, guess what? Matthews is there. He's recovering, not allowing him to play. And if he was drifted on the right-hand side of Pirates again, he would be intercepted there by Umotiba, not allowing him to play. If he tried to drop centrally further than where Umteau could be, Adams would follow him and not allow him to play. And in this case, Adams ends up getting a yellow card. And you would also have him being central, but what would happen? Umkwena would not allow him to play. You'd also see him being in another central space, and they would either block the pass with shadow, with marking him, by not marking him, by making sure that he doesn't receive the ball. Or in some cases, in most cases, when he tried to get the ball, they would just be there and get him out of position, which led to this. This is a very big deal, right? So these three are Mofokeng stats from the previous 3 games. I want you to focus on the top one, the touches. Against Amazulu, 76 touches. Against, this is Gallants, 72 touches. Against Sundowns, 48. That's 24 less touches. But also look at the bottom stat. Forget possession lost. He always loses the ball because he tries to dribble a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's a player who makes things happen for Pirates. But look at the total carrying distance. Total carrying distance is basically how much distance did he travel with the ball. Against Amazulu, 229 meters. Against Marumo Gallants, 215 meters. But against Sundowns, 167. You see the tragedy that he was facing. He had he had 58 less meters traveling with the ball because they just did not allow him to be on the ball. So this was not just about, oh yeah, Pirates, made him play in the wrong position. No, he was playing in the right position. It's just that they faced better opposition than the teams that they faced. But Tigek, what did you think was wrong with the game? Do let me know down in the comment section below. And we'll see you on the next one. If you're on YouTube, they think you might like this video. And if you're on TikTok, watch another video on this channel. And go subscribe to the YouTube channel because that's where I post more in-depth videos. This is just a bonus for you to watch a long video. Nina on YouTube, watch the video here.